Alright, what up, Adamsters? Welcome back to another Arknight and Fields video. And this video is if your brain is like mine, and it's pretty hard to make gold armor. And even if you watch videos, they never show what they're doing. Like whenever I watch a video, how to make gold armor, it's always all the same. They show from the top view, and then I'm so confused on what's going on. So if your brain is like mine, this is gonna help you out a lot on how to make gold gear. The only things you're gonna need. So first you're gonna need sunflower plants, right? All you need is a seed picking unit and a planting unit. You wanna take the seed picking unit with the conveyor belt. You wanna put seed picking unit into the planting unit. You want to put the planting unit back into the seeding unit so you have infinite sunflower plants, whatever they're called. Then you're going to want to make one extra conveyor belt line. Sorry, my throat is kind of hurting today. And you want to go and drag that line and put it back into your main base area so you're collecting them non-stop, right? Because when you're making them, when it's going back into itself, it's planting, it's seeding non-stop. Some extra ones, you're going to want to build another line. So when there are extra ones, the extra ones will come out of there, or because it will divide the product equally. So it'll go, one will go back into the planting unit and one will go back into your base, right? Okay. So we got step 1 down, how to make infinite of those. The same thing with buck flowers. You're going to want buck flowers as well. So you're going to want another seed picking unit and another planting unit. Same thing, how it works. Seeding goes into planting, planting goes back into seeding, and then you have one extra conveyor belt going back into your base. But for this, there's one extra step. So when the seeds come out of the other conveyor belt, you want to go straight refining unit. You're going to need a refining unit to make carbon. Carbon, you need it, okay? Keep that in mind. Carbon, you make conveyor belt going from the carbon back into your base. Pretty simple. You can pause the video to see what's going on if you still don't understand. But I'm about to break it down for you guys again. Seeding unit into planting unit back into seeding unit, and then one extra conveyor belt line going back to your base for the sunflower seeds. For the buck flowers, seeding unit, planting unit. The planting unit goes back into the seeding unit, and you have one extra conveyor belt line going into was that a refining unit, I think, to make carbon, and then carbon into your base. That's infinite carbon, infinite sunflower plants and whatever. All right, so that is the first step. Now you're gonna want to go back to Wuling City. This stuff, keep in mind, okay? This is the main stuff you want to keep in mind to make your gold armor. You're only gonna need this stuff, and that's it. You don't need all these other bases with a ton of other stuff. You don't need that. That's the thing that kept on confusing me. They had so many extra stuff, and they didn't get right to the point. And they were always in the top view. They weren't showing what's where. So I thought I'd make this video. So now in the outport, in those outport things in your base, you want to put 2 carbon outports and 1 sunflower plant outport, okay? Like the plant, not the seed. You want the plant. Keep that in mind. So you want 2 carbons outports and 1 sunflower outport for this step. And this is to make this plant called zeronite. Okay, you're gonna need that, very important. Carbon goes into shredding unit. Sunflower plant goes into shredding unit. Carbon goes into shredding unit. You're gonna want 3 shredding units in total. 2 of them for carbon, 1 of them for sunflower plants. And I'm gonna show you why you need 2 of them for carbon and only 1 for sunflower plants. Okay, so we got this down. 2 grinding units, okay? This is why you need 2 carbons and only 1 sunflower plant one. Grinding units, I mean shredding units. The carbon gets shredded, goes into the grinding unit here, the sunflower plants get shredded and go into the grinding unit. Now, grinding unit can only hold two materials at once to make what it needs to make. So you have to have two grinding units, right? And you could have one. Like, don't get me wrong. You could have one, but having two quickens the process by a lot. You're going to want two conveyor belts for the sunflower plant grinding unit. They go into the grinding unit. You have two conveyor belts, separate them, and make them go into each grinding unit. So one conveyor belt going in there for the sunflower, and one conveyor belt going onto into the other grinding unit for the sunflower plants. And then you have your two carbons. One carbon goes into one, one carbon goes into one. No need to make an extra conveyor belt line for them. And then they go into refining unit to make stabilized carbon. Stabilized carbon, you need two refining units. Again, you could do this with one, but it would be much, much slower. Having two makes everything go faster, so keep that in mind. Refining unit, refining unit. We're going to go back, and now we're going to finish the final step to make the zeronite. So for the zeronite, you're going to want water as well, right? Not only do you want that stabilized carbon, whatever, you want a fluid pump to drag the water back to that machine to make zeronite. And the way you can get your fluid pump is by going in your base. It should be here. You should be able to find it. 1 second. Even I got lost here. Right there, fluid pump. Take that, place it where there's water, make the pipes, build a back, connect it to Forge of the Sky, and then Forge of the Sky makes the zeronite, and that is step one. Pretty simple, right? A lot of things going on, but once you get it down, it's pretty simple. And then we're gonna need the last piece, right? We're gonna need to make the last piece. The last piece is the last production line. Super simple. All you need is originium and again sunflower plants. And you already have an infinite supply of sunflower plants because back in your base you have the planting and seeding unit. Follow this step by step, okay? Do not get lost. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible because it was hard for me. This is for if you have a brain like me, not too crazy, but want to get gold armor. This is the easiest way. So pack output 5, you want sunflowers, and then you want a pack output for originium. So originium goes. Shredding unit, you want two shredding units, one for the plant and one for the originium ore, because one shredding unit can only shred one material at a time. Keep that in mind. Into grinding unit to make, what is this? Dense originium or something like that? Yeah, dense originium powder. From the grinding unit, you want to go into refining unit. And then from that refining unit, you're going to want to go into another refining unit, right? Into the last refining unit, and there you have it, packed origio crust, however you call it. And then that, so the zeronite and this packed origio crust go into a gearing unit to make purple gear pieces so you can make your golden gear. So you want to connect that zeronite, the Forge of the Sky, to the gearing unit, and then this refining unit you want to connect to the gearing unit. Keep that in mind. I hope this is going simple. My base is a complete mess, so I'm trying my best. And then when it makes the gear piece, you want to connect a conveyor belt from the gearing unit all the way back into your main base area, so you don't have to keep on picking them out of the gearing unit. Now for this, if you're a level 8 at the hub, like your main thing, how do you call it? Like how there's like another base and then you level that up and then you get rewards. I show it here though. So I show it here. So let it load. 1 second. So if you go down here to your regional development management, not your Wuling one, but the main area, the one that everyone starts at, the hub, if that is level 8, you can do this. If that is not level 8, you have to teleport back to the hub, get all the materials, teleport back to Wuling, and then put them all into Wuling's base. But if you have level 8, man, like you can just switch. You can go to your spaceship and switch between your region. You unlock regional, like switching or whatever it's called. So like you'd want to take, let's say you need carbon in that base, you just put some carbon in your backpack, put some sunflower plants in your backpack. You don't really need this. I just have it extra built. I'll make a video on that as well. You want to switch back into Wuling. You can only do this when you're at level 8 in the hub. Remember that your regional development is level 8. If it's not, you're going to have to keep on teleporting back to the hub and then back to Wuling and open up your backpack and put them all into your depot. So it takes longer. This saves a couple of minutes. So that's pretty much it. You got all the materials down you need now to make gold armor. I made this because I feel like there are some people out there like me. They search up a video and it makes no sense because they're stuck in the overview looking whatever, and then they're like, oh yeah, do this, do that, do this, do that, and I have no idea what they're trying to say. So I've tried to make this video as simple as possible. This is how I made it all myself because the videos were not helping me, so I decided to make this. I hope this helps you guys out. You guys can pause each step and first complete that step and then move on to the next step. So if you have a brain like me, hopefully this helps you guys. And we're on our road to 1,000 subs. So if you guys remember, like, subscribe, and turn this post notification bell. Peace out, Adamsters. Take care.